Hi friends, it's Mari from So Happy, and today's project is such a fun one. We're taking the free Tianas Closet Hailey High-Low Tank top pattern and giving it a creative twist. I'll walk you through how I adapted the pattern to create a straight hem and added a side panel to turn this into a patchwork upcycled piece. This video is extra special because it's a collaboration with the incredibly creative Estelle Sogo. Estelle shares beautiful, thoughtful DIY projects on our channel, often focusing on wearable, modern garments made from what she already has on hand. Her style is minimal, intentional, and so inspiring. A while back, she created a cropped tank top with a rectangular side inset, and today's project is inspired by that idea. Like Estelle, I was really drawn to using what I already had, so I pulled 3 men's shirts from my stash. They're all the same nylon fabric, and I knew they'd come together into one cohesive wearable piece. The final result is thrifty, breezy, and perfectly neutral for summer. I hope this video inspires you to look at your fabric stash in a new way and to see sewing patterns as a starting point, something you can adapt, tweak, and truly make your own. Be sure to check out Estelle's channel for even more summer top inspiration, including her Colorblock Matchy top. You can sew that free pattern along with me as well. I'll have everything linked below. Alright, let's get sewing this free summer patchwork tank top. For this top today, I used a free high-low hem tank pattern from Tianas Closet Patterns, and I've printed it in my size as per its size chart. I'll quickly show you how I adapted the pattern to suit my vision for this tank. This pattern includes a front and back piece. I overlapped the side seam allowance to eliminate that seam. Then I drew the lines for my side panel inset. This can be whatever shape you want. Mine is about 4 inches wide at the top and 8 inches wide at the bottom, and I connected those points with a curved ruler on both sides of the old seam. I want a standard hem, so I cut off the high-low element straight across the bottom of the bodice to align with the original bottom end of the side seam, and I cut away that extra. Now I cut out my side inset along the lines that I drew, and we now have 3 bodice pattern pieces. Now I can add my seam allowances back to these adapted sections. I'm using 3/8 of an inch. Add seam allowance to the center front because we're adding a seam here instead of cutting on the fold, and add seam allowance to the side. For the back piece, do the same. Finally, add seam allowance to both sides of your inset and make sure to make note of which side connects to the front and to the back. Cut these pieces out of fabric, 2 front bodice pieces mirrored, 2 back bodice pieces mirrored, and 2 side pieces mirrored. Lastly, I'll cut 1-inch strips of fabric on the bias. This will be for my neckline and armhole bindings. And we are ready to sew. Here are both of my front bodice pieces. I'm going to place them right sides together and pin the center seam. Then we can sew at our added seam allowance. My seam allowance is 3/8 of an inch. For my raw edges, I chose to finish those edges together using a zigzag stitch. My length is 2.5 and my width is about 3.5. Then I'll open out these fabrics and press the seam to one side. With my seam pressed to one side, I'm also going to top stitch. I'll turn this to the right side, and I'll top stitch with about a 1/4 inch seam allowance from the seam on the side that the seam allowance has been pressed toward, from top to bottom. Now for the side panel pieces, we'll place them right sides together with their corresponding side and pin in place. Sew that seam on both sides with your seam allowance. Mine is 3/8 of an inch. Then finish the raw edges together and press to one side. Top stitch again if you like. We'll sew the back pieces together in the same way, placing them right sides together and sewing that center seam. I've also gone ahead and finished that seam allowance on the inside and top stitched. Now we'll place the back piece right sides together with its side panels and pin those side panel seams. Now that I've pinned those seams, I'm also going to go ahead and pin the shoulder seams. with those front and back pieces right sides together. Now we'll sew those shoulder seams with a 3/8 inch seam allowance, finish the raw edges, and press toward the back. You can also top stitch those seams for a cleaner finish. And for our side panels, we'll sew, finish the edges, and top stitch. Now the core construction of the bodice is complete. Here is the very bottom edge of the bodice, and I'm going to complete the hem. I've gone ahead and pressed that bottom raw edge to the wrong side by 1 inch. Now I'm going to roll the hem, folding the raw edge to the crease that I've created, wrong sides together, and rolling that once more along the crease. Pin in place all the way around. Now I'll edge stitch close to the upper inner fold all the way around to complete the hem. This pattern comes with both a neckline and an armhole binding piece, and I've cut strips of bias tape from my self fabric. I'm going to cut my strip to the length of the pattern piece for the neckline binding. Then I'll fold my bias tape right sides together and sew the short end with a 3/8 inch seam allowance, then press the seam open. With right sides together, I'll place my binding onto the neckline. I'll align the seam of the neckband with the center back. Pin in place, raw edges even. Now we can sew the binding in place along the neckline at the crease of your bias tape, which should be 1/4 inch. Before we turn the bias tape to the inside of the garment, we're going to snip into the seam allowance all the way around. This will help the bias tape to hug the neckline more cleanly. Carefully snip into the seam allowance, careful not to clip into your stitching line. Now we can turn our bias tape over its seam allowance. Give that a press all the way around. With that main seam pressed, turn your bias tape along the seam to the inside of the garment. Tuck the opposite 1/4 inch portion of the bias tape to the wrong side so that when the bias tape is folded along its main seam, the raw edge is concealed on the inside. Pin in place all the way around. Now my bias binding is completely turned to the inside with the raw edge concealed, and I'm ready to edge stitch along that bottom folded edge of the bias tape all the way around to complete the neckline. And the armholes will be bound in the exact same way as we just did for the neckline. First, cutting your bias tape to the length of the pattern piece for the armhole binding, and sewing the short ends right sides together. Do this for both armhole bindings and press the seams open. Then we'll pin the bindings right sides together with the armholes, raw edges even. I'm going to place the seam of the binding at the bottommost edge of the armhole. Sew the binding in place on both sides with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Snip into those armhole seam allowances all the way around for both armholes. Then I'll press my bindings out and over their seam allowance for a crisp seam. Turn the bindings along their seam to the inside of the garment and tuck the raw edges under. Pin in place all the way around as you did for the neckline. Once both of the bindings are pinned, edge stitch along the innermost fold all the way around. And now your top is complete. Thank you for watching this sew along. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future sewing tutorials, and I'll see you in the next video.